Good evening and welcome everyone, our few socially distanced guests in the room as well as our friends online, and thank you all for joining us in these continued unusual circumstances. It has been an incredibly difficult year for all of us, and even the planning of this event has proved another reminder that nothing can be simple in 2020, as we've had to navigate shifting government restrictions and most recently the wrath of Mother Nature. As most of you all know, my name is Delaney Morrison and I have the privilege of serving as the chair of the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area, and I would like to begin this evening by thanking our board and hardworking staff for their incredible efforts to continue our mission, especially in this year's near impossible conditions. We entered 2020 with great enthusiasm, had a full calendar of scheduled events to celebrate our 25th anniversary, but COVID-19 turned our organization, along with the rest of the world, upside down. Our directors and staff embraced the uncharted territory and quickly shifted our programming online, which kept our audience engaged with heritage area history and attracted a new following across the country. Over the course of the year, these virtual offerings reached more than 52,000 people and had 1,000 live participants. As restrictions eased over the summer, we safely reintroduced in-person programming with a series of historic trail rides and hikes that crossed Blue Ridge Farm, Oak Spring, Selma, Crednell, Kirkby, among many others. We also launched a lawn series that highlighted the history of the American flag with author Mark Leibson and examined heritage area history through song with Bess Putnam's Virginia Pickers Collective. Our History on Tap program culminated with a sold-out event at historic Selma and Leesburg, and all told, we had 664 participants attend during this 4-month window that these outdoor activities were permitted. Student education proved particularly challenging as schools across the heritage area were abruptly closed, but we still managed to reach 1,112 students through virtual classroom learning, our drive-through history program at the Rector House, and our partnership with Loudon Heritage Farm Museum. It took time to adjust to the era of COVID education, but we have found our rhythm and are now equipped to greatly improve those numbers in 2021. Preservation advocacy continued throughout the year, and we recently celebrated a landmark victory in the historic African-American village of St. Louis. After 2 years of working alongside residents and partners to oppose the Mojack's development in the village, Loudon supervisors agreed to purchase the threatened land and protect it with a conservation easement. Our own easement initiative saw success as well as we celebrated the protection of 3 important parcels on the core of the Unison battlefield that were made possible by distributions from the Bondi Family Battlefield Preservation and Land Conservation Fund. 2020 was most certainly not the year we had envisioned when I spoke to you all last December, but these extraordinary times have only strengthened our resolve to continue teaching accurate and comprehensive heritage area history. It was a year of strengthening partnerships and innovation, and these difficult times test the vitality of organizations, and I'm sincerely grateful for the incredible support and loyalty of our membership that continues to sustain us, as well as for the wisdom and vision of our past leaders who are responsible for the strong foundation we stand on today. We remain enthusiastic about the year ahead, and we look forward to safely welcoming you all back to our Civil War Conference and postponed 25th anniversary events. Regardless of what 2021 has in store for us, our mission of preservation through education will continue, and we will share our heritage area history with students and adults alike, in person and online, as we begin our second quarter century of working to preserve the heritage area. So now, returning to our evening's agenda, I would like to invite our president, Jennifer Moore, up to the podium. Jennifer.
Thank you, Delaney. Hello, everyone on Zoom and on Facebook. I'm Jennifer Moore, president of the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area. Thank you for watching the presentation this evening in this bustling week in a most unpredictable year. But it is important to take a moment and reflect on the people who protect our landscapes that this week are so beautifully covered in snow. VPHA has weathered this year well, even with so much on people's minds. We know from participation in our virtual programs that people are truly interested and invested in our shared history. This year, our area has had preservation wins and losses. But without the hard work of our Heritage Hero awardees, the constant push and pressure to develop or pave or upgrade would overtake the historic open space landscape so famous in the 5 counties of the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area. As the VPHA board members back in 2007 who started the Heritage Hero Awards might have thought, let's offer an award as we can every few years to find a deserving winner, but I think it became immediately clear that this heritage area has no shortage of preservation-minded community leaders. And tonight is a strong case in point with Jean Perrin. Allow me to again congratulate previous winners whose life work we continue to benefit from. Karen Hughes White, Robert H. Smith, Senator John Warner, Linda Newton, Unison Preservation Society, Hope Porter, Janet Whitehouse, Lori Kimball, Walter Nicklin, Bob Sinclair, Sue Webb, Mitch Diamond, John and Mary Fishback, Bob Lee, Scott Kasperwicz, David Blake, Paul Zaluka, Gail and Tom DeLashmet, Mary Thomason Morris, Al Van Hyke, Fauquier Loudon Garden Club, Friends of Balls Bluff Battlefield, Chuck Kuhn, and last year Bradley J. Bondi. All have given much over many years to protect or preserve, conserve or educate, restore and advocate for our rural landscapes, which are our living museum. And to have the pristine and preserved landscape and heritage resources are only half of the mission of VPHA, the preservation part, that we hope our education efforts will bring to life. For that, I would like to turn things over to my coworker, Anne-Marie Kyrielazon, to talk about our education efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you to everyone here at Stoke and for everyone at home joining us on a Monday evening, and for participating in and supporting our mission of preservation through education. Every year, we are delighted to honor an educator who brings history alive, someone whose passion is palpable both to students, to colleagues, and to the greater community. This year, in 2020, there is no doubt that educators had an increased burden on their plates. How to reach young people, how to educate, and how to inspire from behind a screen. And I'm very pleased this year to honor Mr. Bill Kendrat, who is an educator at Belmont Ridge Middle School, for his efforts not only to reach his students, but also to expand their understanding of history through an immersive program with the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area. With Bill's help, and with the possible bending of a couple of rules, we were able to offer an online, live, all-day history program that featured public historians teaching about multiple aspects of life during the Civil War era here in the Heritage Area. It couldn't have happened without Bill's involvement, his dedication, and his year-round passion for education. It's a passion he's had for nearly 40 years now, educating, 17 of which have been at Belmont Ridge. Although he is from New York, we won't hold that against him. He is very passionate not only about history, but about the history that happened here, and the history that continues to inform and inspire folks today. But don't take my word for it. We also have a letter written by Senator Mark Warner that I would like to read aloud that we will send home with Bill this evening. This folder is empty. Try again. Mr. Bill Kendrat, I am pleased to extend my congratulations to you upon receiving the 2020 Public Educator of the Year Award from the Piedmont Heritage Area Association. It is clear that you are invested in the success of your students and take great pride in your work as an educator. The commitment can especially be seen in your efforts throughout the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure that your students continue to have meaningful educational experiences. Your efforts to organize a virtual immersion day with the Piedmont Heritage Area Association for the young people of Belmont Ridge Middle School have encouraged their interest and excitement in history. I commend you for your leadership. I send my best wishes for success in all of your future endeavors. Sincerely, Mark Warner. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to the podium for our accolades, Mr. Bill Kendrat.
I'd like to say thank you to the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area and the award. I'm very honored. I have good material down here since I've been converted to the South. I've got a lot of good material to work with, and it's been my pleasure to go to a number of different sites. And in an era of COVID-19, I want to say thank you for giving us Anne-Marie and a number of the other staff members to come out and make teaching come alive for the kids, even in a time when it's very, very difficult to engage the kids. I've had the pleasure of knowing Anne-Marie now for approximately 5 years as she's worked with the Belmont Ridge Civil War Day that we had going on until obviously recently, and the plans were ruined this past year. But we had to be creative and come up with new ways, and combining our ideas together, I think that we ended up making something really important work, and we're looking to have follow-ups again this year. And we've already gotten plenty of feedback from the administration of Loudoun County Public High School, as well as a number of the parents and students about how well it went over. And because of this, we've been blessed to get to know you, and we've been blessed to be able to make an impact on these kids during a time when it's kind of too distant to normally educate the way that we would like to. So again, I thank you for your time, your effort, and your loyalty to the history and the foundation of our country. And I'm glad that I could be a part of it, and I accept this award very graciously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. I would now like to turn things back over to Delaney Morrison.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. It is an honor to be introducing Miss Jean Perrin tonight and highlighting her incredible preservation legacy that she has established over the past 40 years in the Heritage area. Before I begin with my remarks, I would like to ask Jennifer to return to the podium for a moment to read a letter of congratulations from our principal founder and supporter, our Chair Emeritus, Childs Burden. Childs and Jeannie have been fighting the preservation battle together since before I was born, and it has been a privilege to follow their lead and learn under their tutelage. So, Jennifer.
Again, this letter was written by Childs and Elaine Burden. Dear Jeannie, Elaine and I offer our hearty congratulations on your being selected as the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area Association's Heritage Hero awardee for 2020. We have been friends for more years than the three of us would wish to admit, but suffice it to say, if we attempted the arithmetic, we would need to use the term decades, not years. I remember that one of my first community volunteer efforts after my time at Oatlands was the Goose Creek Association. This must have been in the early 1990s. You were already on that board and working hard at that mission. Then, a few years later, you were with us every step of the way when we pulled a group together in 1994 to begin the process of forming what was then called the John Singleton Mosby Heritage Area. You have been a great supporter of the Heritage Area effort all these years, for which we are so grateful. Next came the grassroots effort led by Susan Van Wagener to convince VDOT that traffic calming so successful in other parts of the world could be employed right here in our dear Commonwealth along the Route 50 corridor from Lena to Paris. That tremendous citizen effort to promote the concept of traffic calming was successful and eventually formalized with the help of Senator John Warner and Congressman Frank Wolf with state and federal funding, which allowed that project to proceed to the reality that it is today. In fact, the Route 50 traffic calming project is now nationally recognized as an example of how traffic can be successfully calmed rather than constructing new lanes and bypasses. You remained active in that mission from start to finish, a period of over 20 years. I should also mention that for as long as we have known you, you have been a leader in the Keep Loud and Beautiful effort, and you have led from the front as well as the back. I can say this because we have seen you patiently walking along the roadsides of our scenic heritage area picking up trash, thereby quietly proving that leadership is not just promotion of a worthy cause, but also of hard work. Finally, your stellar leadership in advancing and funding the essential work of the Piedmont Environmental Council, as well as the Virginia League of Conservation Voters, has had a tangible and positive impact on not only our heritage area, but throughout our Commonwealth. When I review the names of those who have been recognized for the Heritage Hero Award, I feel tremendous gratitude to them for their devotion to the preservation of our historic landscape. They have helped us to preserve our sense of place, and they have done so in the face of the great development pressure that is aimed at destroying that sense of place. You clearly deserve to be among that distinguished roster, and I have no doubt that you will continue your hard work, for which so many of us are so grateful. Well done, Jeannie. Congratulations. Respectfully submitted, Childs and Elaine Burden.
Thank you, Jennifer and Childs, for those very appropriate and thoughtful remarks. As Childs said, Jeannie's impact on preservation covers the entire spectrum, from influencing state policy to restoring historic homes and elaborate gardens. Jeannie first fell in love with the historic landscape of the heritage area when she moved to Georgetown and began fox hunting on the weekends. In 1980, she moved to Lincoln and restored a 1740 Quaker stone house that had been earlier destroyed by a fire. Her work restoring this historic, near 300-year-old structure earned her the Loudon Historic Preservation Award. In 2004, she purchased Edgewood, a 19th century log cabin from Mrs. Mellon, and began a full restoration. The structure had been originally located near the heart of the Mellon land, but Mrs. Mellon ultimately decided to move the building across Rokeby Road to its current location so that she could build their new residence. In addition to restoring the house, Jeannie designed beautiful British gardens around her estate that have been celebrated by several publications, including most recently Garden and Gun and Country Zest. Her subtle attention to detail and authenticity make her a perfect steward of Mellon land, and her elegant gardens would fit right into Mrs. Mellon's design. One of the preservation highlights of her British style is her traditional thatched roof garden shed, which she had constructed with old beams and reclaimed Victorian windows. Her love of gardening led to her becoming a leader in the Fauquier Loudon Garden Club, and she received the Garden Club of America Medal of Merit in 2019 for her conservation work. In addition to surrounding herself with preservation at home, Jeannie has selflessly worked on behalf of the bigger picture since she first arrived in the heritage area. She was a founding committee member of our organization in 1995, and she has served on the boards of the Land Trust of Virginia and the Goose Creek Association. She joined the board of the Piedmont Environmental Council in 2000, where she cemented her legacy, becoming co-chair in 2014. During her time on the board, more than 250,000 acres of land has been conserved in the Piedmont region, and she has actively battled countless development threats to our treasured landscape. Her contributions to saving Gilbert's Corner and the establishment of the community farm at Roundabout Meadows have permanently protected the gateway to the rural West, with a landmark commitment to sustainable agriculture and education. The opening of the Piedmont Memorial Overlook and improvements to other public access opportunities from Gordonsville to White Oak Canyon in Madison to Mount Zion Church in Loudon have also connected people with our beautiful landscape and fostered an appreciation for land preservation. Her work to protect the heritage area, roadways including Route 9, Route 15, and Route 50 have preserved much of the rural atmosphere of these historic travel corridors. The benefits of the Route 50 traffic calming project are particularly evident today and will be celebrated by future generations. Additionally, she has put in countless hours of help to shape Loudon's comprehensive plan and zoning ordinances with appropriate protections for open space to save Western Loudon. Jeannie was also a founding member of the Virginia League of Conservation Voters, which became an effective entity in expanding commitment in Virginia to conservation and environmental protection. This is to say nothing of her tireless efforts behind the scenes to facilitate land sales with preservation buyers and indoctrinate new communities of the members of the community with an appreciation of our unique landscape, or to list all the events and fundraisers that she has chaired for other nonprofits over the years, once chairing 5 charity galas in the same calendar year. It's impossible to quantify the preservation impact that Jean Perrin has had on the heritage area, but her years of selfless commitment to conservation have been integral in the protection of our countryside. Thankfully, showing no signs of slowing down, she remains a principal leader in the increasingly important battle to preserve our historic landscape. And on behalf of the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area Association, it is my distinct pleasure to present Ms. Jean Perrin with our 2020 Heritage Hero Award.
Thank you, Delaney, and thank you to Childs and Elaine so much for your very kind and generous words, and to Piedmont Heritage Association. And it's really humbling to be included in such a stellar list of participants and honorees in the past. It's truly was memory lane hearing all those names again. Thank you. So everybody knows it takes a village. I'm honored to be mainly associated with Piedmont Environmental Council now, and I can't think of any more stellar organization, local, state, or even national recognition to do the incredible achievements that they do and set a record for both local, state, and national conservation aspirations. So I'm very humbled and grateful to be here, and thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Jeannie. And Jennifer has a few more letters of congratulations to add to your accolades this evening. Jennifer.
I feel like this is story hour with Jennifer Moore, all this reading, so bear with me. I do have a letter from United States Senator Mark Warner. Dear Ms. Perrin, I am pleased to extend my warmest congratulations to you upon receiving the 2020 Heritage Hero Award from Piedmont Heritage Area. This honor recognizes that your commitment to environmental preservation has made a lasting impact on the Commonwealth. As a nation, we are at a decision point. We must act now to preserve our natural resources so future generations can enjoy them as we have. Through your service with the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area, the Piedmont Environmental Council, and the Virginia League of Conservation Voters, you have been a leading voice for protecting the environment and connecting Virginians with educational and recreational opportunities in the outdoors. Your good stewardship is commendable. On this important occasion, I am very pleased to join with your family, friends, and community in saluting your accomplishments and wishing you success in all of your future endeavors. Sincerely, Senator Mark Warner, which you can take home with you. I'll leave that for you. And then we also have one from Senator Jill Vogel. Dear Jeannie, it is with great pleasure that I write to extend my best wishes to you as the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area awards you their 2020 Heritage Hero. I want to congratulate you personally and send my congratulations on behalf of the Senate of Virginia. We recognize that this is a special honor reserved for a distinguished few who have made significant contributions to preserve the heritage of the Piedmont. We are proud of your accomplishments and deeply grateful for your service to conservation in the region. This honor is well deserved, and it is a testament to your dedication to the stewardship of natural and historic resources over the past 30 years. This is also a recognition of your stunning achievements in our region of the Commonwealth during a challenging time for historic preservation. Indeed, you have made an enormous contribution to the greater Piedmont area, and without leaders like you, dedicated to stewardship and conservation as a singular priority, historic resources in the region would not exist. Thank you again for your commitment and sacrifices, and I am so proud to join the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area in honoring you as the 2020 Heritage Hero. With warmest wishes, sincerely, Senator Jill Vogel. And this is a Senate commendation that they have sent in honor of this award for you tonight. So with that all in mind, we have, of course, a few gifts here, but with the restrictions and so forth being what they are, we leave them at the table. Anne Marie has lined up a lovely pewter Jefferson cup for you, Bill, and we have a charger here for you, Jean, that you can pick up along with your letters. With all that in mind, I would like to raise a glass. If you've got one, please join me. Cheers. Happy holidays to all of you following us online and to all of you in the room. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Thank you both, Bill and Jeannie, for everything you've done. for the Piedmont Heritage Area. Cheers.
Cheers.